معكم اسبو هنا، وارحب بالمنتسبين الجدد. الكينج شامل الراشد، مرحبا بك في القناة. باقي 4 منتسبين ونطلع ايموجي. شكرا لكم على دعم قناة اسبوفينيشن. في احداث كثيرة حصلت وكلام مرة مهم راح اقوله نهاية الفيديو، واتمنى تركزون التعليقات في هذا الفيديو على هذه المباراة، لانه راح اسوي فيديو خاص يتعلق بفريق ساندروك. هناك نناقش كل شيء. اللي يبغى يتواصل معي او يخبرني عن اي شيء افضل طريقة هي التويتر. والان ندخل في اصعب مواجهة لفريق ساندروك على الاطلاق، فريق ديقنتاس. اول شيء اللي يميز فريق ساندروك بعد انضمام TRK هو انه كل لاعب فيهم يعتبر محترف طور 1 ضد 1. احمد له فترة ترك طور 1 ضد 1، لكن قبل كان محترفه، وما في فريق في العالم هذا كله مضاد فعلي لساندروك الا واحد، ديقنتاس الحالي طبعا مو السابق، الفريق اللي راح يلعبون ضده الان، لانه كلهم الثلاثه محترفين طور 1 ضد 1، وفازوا حتى بجوائز كبيره في هذا الطور وحققوا نجاحات مره كثيره. ولما جاء وقته صار اخر تغيير في فريقهم، وهو خروج مؤسس الفريق اللاعب الهولندي فايلنت باندا. كان اللاعبين جاك ويورويتس محترفين 1 ضد 1، وقرروا يضيفون لاعب كمان محترف هذا الطور عشان تكمل مره واحده، وفعلا هذا اللي حصل، انضم لهم اللاعب سكراب كيلا. فالان راح يلعب فريق ساندروك المتكون من احمد او خالد وTRK ضد الهولندي يورويتس، الناس تقول له جوريوس، راح اشرح عنه اكثر في سلسله خالد القادمه ان شاء الله. والبريطاني ابيرنتلي جاك اللي حل اللعبه وخالد وصار يقراه كانه مكتوب بخط حجمه 72. والاسكتلندي سكراب كيلا اول محترف طور 1 ضد 1 عرفته من فوق 5 سنوات. كل هذول فازوا في بطولات كثيره ومحترفين كل الاطوار. لاختصار الوقت بس راح اشرح عنهم في فيديوهات لاحقه بالتفصيل. الان عندنا مواجهه ساخنه جدا ومره نادره ومن العيار الثقيل. الفوز من 4، الفايز يتاهل للنهائي الكبير وفرصه فوز ب10,000 يورو، والمهزوم يضرب الباب لكن ياخذ معه 2000 يورو. يلا ما نطول عليكم اكثر، انجوي. يلا بسم الله نبدا. اول جيم فريق ساندروك ضد ديقنتاس. كل 6 اللعيبه هذول اساطير طور 1 ضد 1، والان لاول مره تحت سقف واحد. ما فيه اي فريقين تجمعهم يصيرون اقوى منهم. الملعب بالقوه متحمل كميه الطاقه المتجمعه هنا. خلونا نشوف ايش راح يصير.
We have the series upon us here, the first semi-final of the Monaco Gaming show here, best of 7 like every series today, and it is Sandrock Gaming against Team Dignitas. I am very excited to get stuck into this one, and early on it is Dignitas pressing Sandrock onto that back end. The back end, of course, that we highlighted, they don't feel as comfortable there when they are forced onto that defense. For me, it's if and when they concede the first goal, things, of course, Sandrock looked great at times, but when they looked at their worst, when we saw them at the major, it was goal after goal. They don't often concede one at once. Sometimes if the emotions are high, it can be 2 or 3, and it can sort of write off a game awfully early.
المواجهة هذه راح يكون فيها دق روس، بالذات جاك ويورويتس ما يبغون العرب يتفوقون عليهم بتاتا. راح اتعمق في هذه السالفة وقت فيديو 1800 نقطة، ترى لسه ما نسيته، راح ينزل يوما ما ان شاء الله.
Is going to be Scrub Killer, because I know a lot of people coming into this season of RLCS are kind of writing Scrub Killer off, saying, oh, he's not got it anymore, he's not the child prodigy we once knew he could be. But he's had a real renaissance in his career now and has been leading this Dignitas team to higher and higher heights.
Yeah, and a big factor of that, in my opinion, is it's just very, very hard to stand out on a team when one of your teammates is Yorius.
هذا كان أقرب معلق يقول اسم يورويتس صح، قال يوريوس.
Right now, in terms of his form, man is one of the most scary to see on the ball if you are a defender, but Sandrock haven't had to do too much defense. They've started meeting this ball well at the midline, and TRK
ديقنتاس عندهم تفاوت كبير في المستويات او اسلوب اللعب. يورويتس اكثرهم احترافا في الميكانيكس والحركات، بالذات الهجمات الجويه، لكنه احيانا يلعب بدون تفكير او استراتيجيه، على عكس ابيرنتلي جاك اللي كمان محترف جدا في الميكانيكس ولو اقل من يورويتس، لكن لعبه كله تفكير وتحليل وتغيير في الاسلوب وسط الجيم، وبالذات التفجير، يفجر حتى اكثر من احمد، وهذا شيء نادر يصير. اما سكراب كيلا فاقلهم احترافا وتلبيه لطلب جاك، فصار كمان يروح يفجر ويخلي نفسه مفيد، ولان فجوه الاحتراف بينهم وبينه كبيره كثير تتحول الى ميزه، لانه يهجم ويصنع هجمات بشكل مختلف عنهم، حاجه دائما تفاجئ الخصم.
So even chat still, I don't know, I deliberately did not make a prediction. I said it'd go with game 7. Even chat don't really know what's going to happen in this one as we pass the 2.5-minute mark.
Khaled getting the patient force onto offense there, get it into the opponent's corner, make it so they have to take plenty of time to turn over the possession and maybe fight back for the possession. Will Middle East inside it, Sandrock through Khaled, keeping up the offense so consistently, but Jorius comes back in to play it off the backboard, and there's some breathing room for Dignitas, a whole lot of breathing room. In fact, they're allowed to walk it all the way into the orange end. Khaled takes control once again, looks for the air dribble bump.
3 دقائق راحت ولا شفنا أي هدف، كل اللي شفناه هجوم قوي ودفاع أقوى من كل الفريقين.
Conservative really from both teams to start things off, although Jorius will try and get a play downfield. No boost will Have to give that one up in the midfield. It has been very quiet on both ends of the pitch. Nothing threatening and really coming through as of yet. Just a lot of midfield play. Ahmed will pop that one in the middle of the field. TRK. Now over to Khaled. What's he got in the tank? A shot from long range. It was trickling wide, but apparently Jack able to get that one back in their own possession. Maybe a breakthrough chance here, and this time Jarius will just send it towards the backboards.
جيم صايم أهداف لأن كل الفريقين يلعبوا بهجوم قوي ودفاع أقوى. قد شفنا كيف قتلوا هجمات كثيرة من قبل حتى لا تبدأ، وكل واحد منهم هجم ودافع بشكل قوي، وجيم متكافئ إلى الآن. لكن وإحنا نقرب من الدقيقة الأخيرة ويبدأ الضغط النفسي والتوتر على اللعيبة، راح تبدأ تزيد الأخطاء.
Sandrock both still no advantage or disadvantage here in this game one. It is still 0-0 as we head into the final minute.
Jack keeps saying K, and I have to correct myself that it's Khaled and not actually K-Dop. That would be insane.
المعلقين قالوا تخيل لو خالد اللي مسمي نفسه كي يكون كي-دوب اللاعب الفرنسي.
Into Middle East, it would be absolutely nuts. You know, most up-and-coming region, we would say, best minor region to perform at the major. There's a lot of promise in the Middle Eastern players.
It certainly is, and the best part is being inducted into the RLCS. Now we get to see them develop that depth as well. So many games in-house and games that lead to something, games with a purpose, and that is what really fuels motivation. And this, we are still, I believe, just witnessing the beginning. But of course, Sandrock's showed their true color.
وانتم ايش رايكم في حركه تغيير الاسم هذه؟ كل يوم لاعب مغير اسمه ولا تقدر حتى تعرف اسمه السابق. انا اشوفها حلوه من جهه ومو حلوه من جهه اخرى، لان في قصه مره حلوه حصلت بالذات مع تغيير الاسم، راح اسوي فيديو عنها ممكن بعد سنه. خبروني رايكم في التعليقات عن حركه تغيير الاسم في اي وقت، لان الظاهر ما راح نشوف اي هدف في هذه المباراه، والان ندخل في الوقت الاضافي.
Things are looking a little bit tense, Crafters.
It is tense, and I don't think anyone would have predicted at the outgo from this semi-final that game number one was going to go. Well, you might have said game one would go to overtime. I don't think you would have imagined it would be completely scoreless as we start the extra period. Jarius maybe looking for a quick finish here. Will be putting that one wide into the corner. Dignitas kind of scrambling here. Will allow Khaled to force this ball down the right-hand side of the field. Scrubkiller picks this one up. No boost for him. He'll have to call in Jarius.
شوفها بيرنت لجاك يرمي الكرة وينساها ويركز له على لاعب ويفجر، وهنا فجر المفجر أحمد.
Are trying to get these set-up plays, but they're running out of boost in the tank as they go down. That's a shot from TRK, and Khaled can't follow up. What has Ahmed got? He just lays off and lets Jarius play this out.
Very close from Sandrock, but of course the more they press, the more Dignitas will be willing to threaten on the counter-attack. And Jack
TRK غلط غلطة بسيطة جدا اللي هي ما شات الكرة في الزاوية، وعلى اسمه ترك تركه خالد لحاله. هو مع مين؟ مع الكابوس حقه جاك اللي قراه وهو مغمض. شفنا أحمد سوى شيء مرة حلو اللي هو فجر سكراب كيلا بعد محاولة تفجير يورويتس، حتى لو كانت في وقت الدفاع تفجير الخصم دائما مفيد ويخلي ضغطهم يفك. TRK سوى هجمة قوية كانت بتجي هدف لكن ما كملها، فبدل لا يفوزون انهزموا، والحاسم طبعا كان هدف واحد نتيجة غلطة بسيطة.
We thought it was going to be really high flying, high octane, high impact plays.
The level of mechanics across the board is world class.
ندخل في الجيم الثاني، شيء رائع نشوف اساطير طور 1 ضد 1 يلعبون 3 ضد 3. هو احمد كان بيجيب هدف من البدايه. اول جيم كان لعب كل الطرفين قوي بالذات الدفاع لدرجه ان الجيم ما كان بيخلص، لكن الظاهر هنا راح نشوف اهداف اكثر خصوصا بعد الهجمه الاولى.
Let's see how game number 2 will fare. Will it be more of the same and patiently waiting for the other team to make a mistake, or will one team start to turn it up to 11? We'll have to wait and see. Jarius will now bring it in. Here comes apparently Jack. Double tap opportunity. Here comes Scrub on the follow-up, and that is just class.
أحمد حس إن هذا الوقت يجيب هدف فاضطر إنه يسجل على نفسه. هذه الظاهر نقطة ضعفه، تصوموا جيم كامل عن الأهداف يصير مع الخصم، فأحسن لهم ساندروك يبدأون يسجلون.
In front of Khaled, that is, there's no debate about that one. That was you could say that goal was unassisted, but I think we know how it really happened.
Yeah, just unfortunate positioning around there from Ahmed. I think he was expecting Jack to make that double touch. He don't think he saw Scrub coming over the top, although Khaled now will try and just force that one through. Yeah, he wouldn't have expected Scrub to be coming over the top like that, so he was expecting the rebound.
مجنون يا رايتس، ما بيهجد حركات ورا بعض.
Wrong place, wrong time, and it cost them the first one in the opener. And still not scored in this series so far, only 2 goals
اوه بيرن لجاك ايش قاعد تسوي؟ يسوي انه ما بيهجد زي رويتس، لكن شوف وين وصل المحترفين، ما يبقى ثانيه واحده من غير ويف داش ولا وول داش ولا اي حاجه.
Game of the series. You want to come out of the gates firing all cylinders. I mean, you saw a kickoff opportunity right at the start of the game go awry.
It is the sort of scenario that I was raising concern at.
صدة ذكية من أحمد، وصعبة مرة الصدات اللي تكون متوجهة على المرمى حقك كأنك مع الخصم، لكن أحمد شيك على السريع لقى إنه لسه مو محتاج يسجل.
It's more often than it should, of course. That's not all the time. In fact, they made an incredible comeback. I believe it was in Game 2 against G2 in that famous sweep in their first series at the Major. But it does seem a little bit hectic. But the more experience they get, the more calm and composed they get in terms of their nerves. And I think it's already been better than I was certainly worrying for. They are still being forced on that defense. Whether they can get a counter-attack and actually strike back, we're yet to find out. They've got plenty of time to do just that.
And like we said before, Sandrock feel a little less comfortable in defense than they do feel, pardon me, than they do feel upfield. Dignitas is going to be starting to exploit that, just hold them back and force them to play defensively. Although that's a nice touch off the backboard, and TRK will finally tie things up.
وخالد سوى افضل استراتيجيه في هذا الطور، اللي هي انك ما تشوت على المرمى اللي كان سكراب كله مغطيه، انما على الجدار الخلفي عشان يجي TRK ويسجل الهدف الفعلي. ساندروك اخيرا جابوا اول هدف اذا ما اعتبرنا هدف احمد، وعدلوا النتيجه. مين راح يتقدم الان؟
Just a little bit too much sauce behind it.
I was going to try and make some kind of sauce joke. I'm just not going to go down that road.
No, it's okay, because we've just been tweeted by someone on Twitter, per Gunner BT, absolute legend, has tweeted us a picture of the non-dairy almond Magnum ice cream.
Get it?
يورويت صدم احمد في الجو، ممكن يكون قاصدها، لكن انا متاكد انه كان بيسوي اعاده شقلبه في البريسيت.
In Norway, enjoying your Magnum and the Monaco Gaming Show.
جاك يبغى يسوي تريبل مو دبل، 3 لمسات. الحركات اللي قاعده تصير في هذا الجيم شيء خرافي.
Version as well, so nice one, mate. Nice one, pal. That's lovely stuff. Lovely stuff here from Sandrock in defense as well. And I mentioned about them being less comfortable in defense, but you got to remember, you mentioned the series with G2. It was Ahmed who had the save of the century, really, getting that pinch off the crossbar. These guys know how to play defense. It's just the consistency at which they have to play it.
جاك بدع هنا، فاز في ال50 ضد خالد، ومع انه ما لحق يتعدى TRK لكن صدم احمد في طريقه. مهد الطريق لسكراب كيلا اللي زي سينزو دائما موجود ورا المهاجم لاكمال الهدف.
Quite enough, Ahmed. Unable to stop Scrub's shot. It was straight down the middle, but from close proximity, restores the lead for Dignitas, and it's still Dignitas in the driver's seat.
And maybe even taking a more controlling lead there if that one was a bit more on target from apparently Jack. But now with that goal advantage yet again, all the pressure now falls to Sandrock Gaming. Trying to create opportunities downfield, but Dignitas have been working in the midfield so well. Look at this, all 3 men for Sandrock in the middle of the net. A very vulnerable place for them to be. Jorias with like 3 touches off the backboard. Absolutely insane. Scrub might have to double tap here.
يورويتس بدع بريست ولمستين، خلى الكرة تبقى قدام المرمى، وشاتها جاك لكن خبطت على الجدار، واستلمها سكرب كمان بلمسة ريست ولمسة ثانية من الجدار، لكن وخالد صد الثالثة.
He gets a triple and I was going to say K-Dub Khalid gets the save. You're confusing me with your name, pal, but that was exquisite offense from Dignitas, just couldn't finish it up, and Jack almost got the bump. Scrub with the second shot not to be found.
Huge that Sandrock have managed to hold on there, keep the deficit at just 1 into the final minute here of Game 2. It felt like Dignitas were just queuing up to take shots at the Sandrock net there, but none of them quite finding the back of it. But a loose touch from Khalid could invite them in. Does get the backboard clear away, does his teammate though. Scrub found in the midfield. Khalid required on the defense, and again we'll find Ahmed who sends it downfield, but they're poking and hoping when it comes to the Dignitas defense, and Dignitas really starting to find their footing ever since going 3-0 down, of course, in their first series of the day. Best of 7 reverse sweeping, and frankly they haven't looked back since.
It was a phenomenal performance from Dignitas to bounce back in that one.
شوف وين صاروا يلعبون على السقف.
You got to say it was a smiley face really just falling off a bit of a cliff, and Dignitas taking full advantage of that. Let's see what Sandrock have in the last 5 seconds. They won't have any help from Jorius as he puts it straight into Khaled's way. Oh, that's a great carry.
سكراب كيلا صدم خالد في الجو، واللي كان أحمد مستعد يكملها، وفازوا ديقنتاس مرة أخرى بفارق هدف واحد.
Almost worrying for Sandrock, like they're putting in a strong performance. They're absolutely competitive.
ندخل في الجيم الثالث. المواجهة هذه الأهداف فيها قليلة، فإن كانوا ساندروك يبغون يفوزون لازم يضمنون أن هذه الأهداف تكون لصالحهم.
Need a fast opening to this third game of the semi-final, I would imagine. Don't want to go 1-0 down in the blink of an eye. Jack will put a threatening ball there, but it was just a little bit too high for anyone to fall.
سكراب كيلا فجر أحمد مرتين ورا بعض، شكلها صارت هوايته الجديدة.
This ball in the orange half of the field. Finally, Khaled gets a clear down to, I believe that was TRK. It was.
TRK ضيع تسديد، المرمى كان فاضي.
Oh, it had to be on target there, Tylato.
Yeah, it's a really tough shot, but a shot that you'd expect to be made from a player the quality of TRK, and you can see the difference.
مناولة حلوة من يورايتس لجاك، اللي شاتها وجات في الجدار الخلفي، رجعت لسكراب كيلا وشاتها وما قدر خالد يصدها، اللي كان مرة داخل المرمى. المفروض يقدم شوي لأن البينج عندهم ما يساعدهم.
But even the touch he got into the crossbar, it pulled 2 Sandrock defenders away, and Scrub with the finish right there. There's nothing the Sandrock defense could have done about that one. And again they concede the opening goal to Sandrock.
ساندروك المفروض يستثمرون استثمار جامد في كم هجمة عشان يجيبوا التعادل والتقدم، بعدين يتراجعون دفاع لين ينتهي الجيم، لأنه إن هجموا بلاعبين راح تكون فرصهم أضعف مع دفاع ديقنتاس، خصوصا بعد ما تقدموا بهدف، وأكيد الآن راح يركزون على الدفاع أكثر.
I don't want to say a desperate mentality, but for lack of a better phrase, that's what I'm going to go with. Ahmed, nothing desperate about that, but Jorius will shut it down.
هجمة أحمد أوشكت تجي هدف، وديقنتاس الآن مستمرين في الهجوم يبحثون عن هدف ثاني لتثبيت الفوز، لكن هذه كمان فرصة ساندروك للتعادل لأنه حيكون اختراق الدفاع أسهل. شفنا أول كان في بس يورايتس فلازم واحد يفجره، لكن في الجهة الأخرى ديقنتاس يعتبر أكثر فريق يفجر، عشان كذا يعتبر أقوى خصم لساندروك، لأنه مضاد فعلي لكل شيء، سواء احتراف اللاعبين في طور 1 ضد 1 أو مهاراتهم على الأرض والجو أو الخطة والتفجير. هذه هي أقوى مواجهة بين هذين الفريقين.
Dignitas, they do look like they've figured out Sandrock, but they're going to have to keep up those notes if they're going to hang on a minute. Okay, I thought Jack was about to absolutely bury a stonker of a double touch, but it was not to be, and the counter-attack again potentially on, but nipped in the bud so early by Dignitas.
And ricocheted round the Sandrock defense there, and Ahmed will... Every touch that Sandrock get in defense has just been met by anyone from Dignitas. Just holding them back, making them have that extra thought of going downfield. Lovely pass from Ahmed, finds TRK, buries it.
مناولة جميلة من أحمد لتياركي اللي أطلق صاروخ سرعته 117 كيلو في الساعة على مرمى ديقنتاس. على قد ما أن روكت ليج تعني أن السيارات تصير صواريخ، لكن ما في أجمل من أنك تشوف شوتات صواريخ. ساندروك عدلوا النتيجة، والآن من راح يتقدم؟
Playing it around the Dignitas defense with conviction, and that's another huge equalizer. Can they convert it into a game though?
That's the Sandrock we wanted to see in offense. Let's see if they can back it up, or otherwise Scrub might be able to find a goal himself. TRK now. Just waiting for that pass out from Ahmed. What didn't eventually come to fruition. And again, just Dignitas holding Sandrock back. They're so pressure heavy, or Dignitas. We've seen how that's worked in their favor so often. Excellent save by Jack.
TRK تحول قاذفة صواريخ، كان بيجيب هدف التقدم.
That went in for Sandrock. That might have been turning the tides.
TRK is really starting to heat up here. You see another double touch round the corner, pops it past one, gets a dunk.
TRK مسوي شغل، تعدى 2 من الدفاع، لو كانوا خالد أقرب كان كملها.
Seem to like it, but of course they can potentially find another gear, as I say.
سكراب كيلا يبغى يمارس هوايته.
Maybe they won't. Once again, Sandrock waiting on that defensive touch, but it's going to be hard to be able to punish Jorius, who gets multiple in a row, forces them back to their own half.
Now Ahmed, what can he do from his own half? Half a tank of boost, we won't be able to do much with that. But again, this Dignitas rotation is just so punishing for Sandrock trying to move downfield. They're winning their 50s, but that was Jack. I believe that was Scrub as well at the back line. Not really sure what to do with themselves, but they do finally make the decision and block out the shot that was inevitably going to be coming their way. Rebound off the backboard for Ahmed is not going to be there. Khaled with the follow-up, and now Ahmed with the second shot will be saved away by Scrubkiller, but this is so much better from Sandrock in offense. It's just consistent pressure offense. That is what the Saudis do best.
الآن على آخر دقيقة راح يزيد تركيز الفريقين على الهجوم، مما يؤدي إلى فتح ثغرات في الدفاع للهجمات المرتدة، ومع زيادة التوتر أي هجمة مناولة أو تفجير راح تكون كافية لهدف الفوز.
Corner, but it's controlled well by TRK. Can he continue to be a nuisance here? He's let that one go for Ahmed. He plays a slow 50 in the corner. Little amount to boost and making the difference here on the defense for Sandrock. As long as they can keep this ball moving from side to side and not stall in the middle of the pitch with no loose touches like this, as long as they get the dunk there. And Ahmed does just that, or else they could be dangerous. But now they move down to the other end. It's Dig who are the ones who could be nervous.
Sandrock really needs to get this going north and south rather than east and west. Force Dignitas back into their own half. Look how high Scrub is playing there. So much confidence from him, knowing that the ball was going to drop his way. If it was pinched out to the other side, Sandrock could have had an easy counter attack. You're here in the last 10 seconds now. It's Dignitas who have to play defense. Jack will send it high. Jorias will punt it long. Hamid is there to, or excuse me, TRK was there to keep it dangerous. Oh, this from Khalid. Won't find the net this time around. TRK is just going to drop this to the floor.
ضغط قوي من ساندروك في آخر دقيقة، لكن الآن ندخل في الوقت الإضافي حيث الهدف يعني الفوز. راح يكون من نصيب مين؟
Of this series, it feels like it could be either way here in Game 3 overtime of the first semi-final here at the Monaco Gaming Show. Dignitas looking to move to match point. Sandrock looking to start bringing things back and bring it all the way downfield. Will TRK nearly ratios it completely past Jack, but a good challenge from him forces it above the Dignitas crossbar as it pings across the pitch. Scrub will be up to it first, beats his man and plays it down the left as Jack looks to press and chase. TRK having to rush his touch a little, but he does a good job of playing that one across.
Let's see how Dignitas fare when they have to play consistent defense. Because it's been them who've been forcing Sandrock Gaming to...
TRK رمي الدبل من الجدار، الكرة دخلت بنسبة 90% لكن جاك طلعها كانت مرة قريبة.
It's been them who've been forcing Sandrock Gaming to play the defense. It's Jack with an excellent save. The follow-up by Khalid. That was another save by apparently Jack. Won't be registered, however, although it might have been a game-saving touch. Here comes Ahmed right over the top. Jorias just wastes so much time here. He knows he was pretty much the only one back here. He had to let Jack and Scrub
جاك بيفجر أحمد لكن أحمد تفاداه.
cover themselves. And now right back downfield. Punted into the midfield by Sandrock. TRK will be the one to pick that one up. But no follow-up ball. Allows Scrub through here. Jack with the follow-up. Nothing doing. And Dignitas maybe just getting a little bit desperate here as they just try and find a way through this defense. No, Scrub tried to go over the top.
But those emotions do go both ways. Sandrock awfully close there. Felt like they could just taste that game win, but Jack plucking the ball back. That thing was more than half the way across the Dignitas goal line. Sandrock denied their winner for now. Will they be able to find it, or will they get ahead of themselves? Jorias, he's got the winner, and what a winner it is!
That is classy from Jorias.
تخليصة TRK سنترت الكورة ويرويتس كان مستعد لها، وبرمي الدبل من الجدار على الزاوية اليسار جاب هدف الفوز وحط ديقنتاس في النقطة الحاسمة.
That does feel like a significant overtime.
ندخل في الجيم الرابع ونقطة حاسمة لديقنتاس. الآن يا يمسحون ساندروك أو ساندروك يسوون مسح عكسي، لأن ما بقي لهم خيار غير كذا، ونحطوا الآن تحت ضغط 4 أقيام حاسمة لديقنتاس. كل الأقيام السابقة كانت فارق هدف واحد لصالح ديقنتاس، 2 منهم في الوقت الإضافي. نشوف كيف حيكون الجيم الرابع.
Just pointing to Scrub Killer.
Don't forget that big red arrow.
Yeah, of course.
Head up.
That's what you need.
Close.
Man, but yeah, this Dignitas squad just, they've been baiting Sandrock every stage of the way. Every time you feel that Sandrock have a little bit of momentum back on their side, no, Dignitas is right there to shut everything down. They're playing Stonewall Rocket League right now. And for me, I wouldn't say there's anyone who's been standing out in Dignitas for me so far. It's been all 3 players really playing their best game and forcing Sandrock into the position that they're in.
I do feel like the defense from apparently Jack is effectively what won that overtime, at least in the clutchest of moments, as much as that's another dangerous shot. And
ديقنتاس عندهم طبعا خبرة أكبر في طور 3 ضد 3 وبالذات تحت ضغط البطولات. ساندروك لسه قاعدين يجمعون هذه الخبرات، خصوصا بعد انضمام الشرق الأوسط أخيرا إلى البطولات العالمية. فمباريات مثل هذه جدا مهمة لساندروك، إنهم يلعبون ضد أفريقيا مثل ديقنتاس اللي يعتبرون من أقوى الأفرقة الأوروبية، وأنا شخصيا أعتبرها أروع مواجهة لكلا الطرفين، واللي ماسك الكاميرا مخلينا نتفرج على الهواء.
Closed down early. Scrub with the flip reset looked for a second and He nearly got it. Dignitas still looking dominant.
Ahmed now taking this out of the back line. Jorias is there to meet it, and again, just Dignitas rotating through this midfield, keeping their pressure going. It's not one shot and rotate out, it's multiple. It's 3, 4, 5 shots at a time from Dignitas. Might not all be on target, but at least gives Sandrock a lot to think about. Here comes Jack now. Can't get it through the midfield this time, and now Sandrock tries to turn things back in their favour. A wayward passing play will go back in Dignitas' favour. Jack tried to power that one through. And again, it's not been the high-flying series that we've really expected, Tylacto. It's been a real defensive struggle from both teams. And it's been Dignitas just grinding out these wins.
It's been incredibly strategic. The big thing for me is that this is the 4th attempt that Sandrock have at scoring the first goal in one of these games and forcing Dig.
ديقنتاس قاعدين يحاولون يصدمون ويفجرون ساندروك عشان يخلقون ثغرة في الدفاع لأنهم تعبوا من قوة دفاعهم.
Managed to convert on it, and right now the defense is looking a little bit shaky. Do commit. They do force it into the corner, but you see how patient and how little boost Dignitas are just sort of poking them with, keeping it efficient, and any mistake could be fatal for the Middle Easterns here. As I say that, of course, Dig do fall back all the way to their own end. And the pinch will force them back once again. Loose touch from Jorius. Scrub is going to try and chase it. He gets the demo, not the ball. A little bit messy right now. Can Sandrock find something in that mess, though?
It really is all over the place, and when chaos is prevalent, that's when you would expect a team like Sandrock to just take control and start to bring the tone of things down and into their favour, or at least make sure that they're the ones controlling how this game.
TRK ترك الكرة وراح بيفجر يورويتس لكن ما زبطت معه. لو جات كان المرمى فاضي لو خالد، لكن فكرة التفجير والتوقيت كانوا مثاليين من TRK.
See, I know they're match point down. They've got to win 4 in a row without dropping any. But it's looking a little bit panic from Sandrock, but
هذا هو الهجوم الجماعي. أحمد تعدى سكراب، TRK فاز بال50 ضد جاك، وخالد كملها بعد فشل يورويتس في تخليصها. وفي مثل هذه الأيام الفقيرة أهداف يعتبر هذا الهدف جدا قيم، لازم الآن يحافظون عليه، لازم يركزون كل قواهم في الدفاع لمدة دقيقة ونص ويضيعون الوقت.
Top shelf, and that is the first lead of the series for Sandrock Gaming. What does that mean? How much can they build off of this? Are Dignitas believers shaking? Probably not, frankly, but all of these games have been decided by just one goal so far, and for the first time the European side has to come back. Wow, that took so long.
سكراب سوى حركته العشوائية، رمى الكرة ببطن السيارة وكسب نقزة وفاجأ بها خالد. صد رميته، طارت الكرة خبطت في السقف، من سوء حظ ساندروك نزلت الكرة لجاك جاهزة للتسديد. الآن تعادل، اللي يجيب الهدف القادم له أفضلية كبيرة للفوز.
That lead initially, but once you got that lead, you've got to hold on to it for longer than that. Can't be giving up the tie game as quickly as you've taken your first lead in this series. Yeah.
I feel like as much as Sandrock's defense was reasonably solid there, the pass was it was outrageous. Quite how Dignitas carved that opportunity out of nothing. The question is whether Sandrock can stay at the drawing board and create something else. If they could get themselves a lead this late in this game 4, it could be the lead that keeps them into the series. Dunks like that can keep them on offense. Scrub is going to be beat on the back.
رمية TRK ارتدت من السقف وشكت تجي هدف.
On the defense, are Dignitas here? It's a tense situation, and maybe Sandrock can prevail, but Khaled with little to aim at just has to sort of fire that one goal bound and just see what happens next.
Can I just point out something funny before the last 20 seconds? When Khaled scored, everyone in the chat was like, "Yeah, K-Dub, you scored." Nice one, pal. In 15 seconds, I mean, Rostamania, it's running wild right now. Let's see how wild the defense can run for Sandrock Gaming, because they need to play as much defense as they possibly can. TRK with a great squishy in and out save. Khaled will have another.
TRK تصدي قوي، ديقنتاس ضغطوا على آخر ثواني عشان يتخلصون من ضغط ساندروك المستمر، وندخل الآن في الوقت الإضافي الثالث في أروع مواجهة على الإطلاق.
The 4 games going to extra innings. Let's see if Dignitas can pitch a shutout.
Oh, that's a lovely pass though. Look at that for a winning goal of the kickoff.
يورويتس تعدى وخالد في الجو وناولها الجاك وراح يصدم TRK اضطر يطير ويحاول يصد هجمة جاك لكن ما قدر، وكذا يفوزون ديقنتاس يمسحون ساندروك 4-0. على قد ما النتيجة صادمة لكن كانت كلها بفارق هدف واحد و3 منها في الوقت الإضافي. ديقنتاس متعودين على اللعب في أعلى المستويات وتحت أقوى الضغوطات، وعلى قد ما هو العكس مع ساندروك إلا أنهم قدموا لهم أقوى تحدي وكان بإمكان النتيجة تنقلب في أي لحظة. كرر هذه المواجهة في أي يوم ثاني وراح تتفاجأ من النتائج اللي تطلع، مع ان ساندروك انهزموا لكن ولو كسبوا خبرة قوية وكسبوا $2000. اقوى وافضل واصعب واروع مواجهة شهدتها عيناي واهني الفريقين عليها. كنت بقول لكم ان هذه المواجهة راح تتكرر في البطولة العالمية RLCS لكن للاسف ما صارت مع انها كانت في الجدول، لذلك هذه المواجهة الان في هذا الفيديو راح تصير حتى اندر لانها الوحيدة بين هذول العمالقة. كنت بشرح عن ايش بالضبط اللي حصل والمأساة اللي بسببها ما راح نشوف هذه المواجهة تتكرر، لكن زادت صارت بعدها كوارث وكارثة بعد كارثة، ولا زالت لم تنتهي القصة اللي نتيجتها ان ساندروك ما شاركوا في البطولة العالمية مع انهم تأهلوا لها. لكن لعمق السالفة راح احط لها فيديو خاص باذن الله. اتمنى المواجهة هذه عجبتكم واراكم في الجايات. السلسلة القادمة راح تكون لعبة ثانية وفيها جيف اواي قوي وبعدين نرجع للروكيت ليج، فلا تنسوا الدعم. يعطيكم العافية على المشاهدة، ابقوا بسلام واسبوفينيشن از اوت.